us to get to know each other and to be able to build that communication bridge and to that relationship to move forward. And the postcard and the Q&A, we will have a QR code afterwards for you to sign in to give us some feedback. We're continuing to improve our programs and we'd like to know what you think, and some feedback would be wonderful if you could spare that few minutes just to fill that in the end for us. Thank you. It's so quiet. I'm getting so nervous. Maybe we can sing a song or something. Yes, I got this. It's just like quiet. But it's really great to be here. It's my dream to be here for the past 4 years, but I have not been able to because my mom wasn't feeling too well. So this is my first time attending all the panel events and be able to go into UN and attended some side events inside. I'm very, very grateful for this opportunity and would love to see what we could do further to collaborate and to work together to move forward. So I'm very grateful that I could be here moderating for this event, and yeah, just really excited. Okay, so although we're 4 minutes early, may I ask if we could start? Okay, great. Let's start our session today. Good morning, honorable guests and speakers. We appreciate your time in joining us today as we discuss the importance of empowering women through education to build a gender equality society. Gender equality means that the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of individuals are not determined. Start again. Gender equality means that the rights, responsibilities, opportunities of individuals are not determined by their gender, ensuring equal access to resources and opportunities for all. It is a fundamental human right and a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. In today's presentations, we would like to share stories of women empowered by education and how they support each other through their knowledge and their love. Their stories will inspire you. With education comes opportunities. Opportunities allows oneself to gain and accumulate experiences. These boosts one's confidence. A confident person is resilient, determined, brave, and is more likely to continue to develop herself, even through the darkest of times. Learning by doing to believe. Beliefs move us forward. We need to believe in what we do, and once that makes sense to us, the doing becomes second nature to us. Our creativity blossoms and motivation solidifies. Results will speak for itself, and last but not least, we attract people who hold the same beliefs. We form a family, a home away from home. This creates a positive cycle. This is my own beliefs. I try to create that positive cycle for myself and for my family and for people who are around me and who I have the privilege to get to know. My name is Winnie Chao. I am the CEO of DeYu Education Group. I'm the president of KON WEN Cultural Foundation, and I'm the vice president of Women Federation for World Peace Taiwan. DeYu Education Group aims to provide individualized education programs to nurture and develop talents to obtain self-learning abilities and to acquire the skills and mindset to self-learn. We recognize each stakeholder plays an important role in the family, and our efforts is aimed at strengthening the function of each family through education. Our business units service children and their caretakers starting from newborn until old age. We have several NPOs which are solely sponsored by our own business units. As you can see from the picture, I'm the only child. I'm the only child. The only child in the family. So my mother, Dr. Tsai Hsueh-Ni, often said to me, "I gave birth to you, and I provide opportunities for you to learn and explore. That's it. The rest is up to you. You need to want to grab each opportunity to learn, to continue to develop yourself, and to walk the path in life with dignity, bravery, and always be grateful to the people you encounter in your life, and to give back to the society." And as a mother myself, I remind myself constantly that I have daughters and I have a son. I have a responsibility in whatever I do to create a unified and peaceful world for my next generation. 1 + 1 is bigger, should be bigger than 2. Thus I started working with NGOs, for I wish DeYu Education Group could participate in meaningful projects which we may not have the opportunities to do if we were not in partnership with others. So our collaboration with WFWP Taiwan is a close one. My dear mother is one of the visionary women who have supported the establishment of the WFP chapter in Taiwan in 1992. I'm a proud second-generation member of WFWP Taiwan, and I'm very proud that I have my daughter, my eldest daughter here, Sabrina. She will be the third generation of our, thank you, of WFWP Taiwan. WFWP Taiwan has been recognized by the Taiwanese government as we have been honored with many awards and recognitions. There are 4 committees of WFWP Taiwan, apologies, mainly children and youth, women and families, young women, and senior citizens. Our late former president of WFWP Taiwan, Lily Lin, envisioned that we start a committee to support women to gain global perspectives and train them to become women leaders. We started the Young Women Global Empowerment Program in 2018, and to this date, we have completed 4 sessions of the program, and each year we send our representatives to hold online or in-person NGO CSW parallel events. Today here with us is Abby Guo, which is sitting here. She's one of our representatives, and May Huang. She's also our representative. She held her session yesterday. So we're very proud that after training, we're able to bring them here and for them to participate in holding and running these parallel events and be involved. We're very happy that we see results as such. So after introducing having introduced myself and our organization, I have the honor to invite our president of World Federation for World Peace International and World Federation for World Peace Japan to speak with us. She's also one of our panel speakers, and I would like to invite Dr. Hori to share with us what WFWPI International is doing. There are many projects that she oversees, and she's also starting, I believe, a few new projects, and it's very exciting to be working closely with her, and it's such an honor. So, and today she would like to share her topic on empowering women to realize gender equality. So may I ask everyone to please welcome Dr. Hori.
Thank you, Winnie. Thank you, KON WEN Cultural Foundation, and thank you, Women's Federation Taiwan. Hello, everyone. My name is Moriko Hori. I am the president of Women's Federation for World Peace International and also Japan. Today, I would like to give a presentation about our efforts to empower young women to be the future leaders in international society. Empower women with education to build a gender equal society is a very powerful statement to the resilience and vision of the next generation. Women across the world are breaking barriers and challenging rooms and shaping a more inclusive and equitable future. From advocating for gender rights to leading initiatives in education, technology, and politics, their contributions are nothing short of groundbreaking. Okay, let me introduce our organization. Women's Federation for World Peace International was founded in 1992, and now we have 128 chapters all over the world. And we are a network of women working together to transform our global family. We believe women possess unique qualities and perspectives that can reshape the world. We're committed to supporting women on the journey of awakening what it means to be a woman in her fullest form. Women's Federation was granted general consultative status with the Kawasaki UN in 1997, and we have 3 UN offices to mediate between the Women's Federation and United Nations. We have our CAO and UN Office Representative Merle Balan here. Thank you. And we have many our members from Women's Federation. Thank you. In 1994, our founder trained 1,600 Japanese women as volunteers for international cooperation projects. And the volunteers were dispatched to 160 countries to start Women's Federation projects to empower women. And this is the group picture, and it stands for world in Chinese character. And our Dr. Hak Jae-moon is our co-founder, say that she sent the Women's Federation volunteers abroad to convey the mother's love to the people who live in the most difficult areas of the world. Oops. With the heart of a mother to care for the children, women and girls, of course, of the world, our volunteers strive to put the logic of love into action by dispatching overseas volunteers to initiate humanitarian projects, and the local chapters raise funds to support the projects to bring hopes among the most underprivileged. Actually, I would like to talk about many of our projects in Africa, South America, Asia, but today I only have 15 minutes, so I skip it. If you are interested in, please go to our website. Yes. Bridge of Peace. This is one of our signature project, and this is our transformative signature project, Bridge of Peace. And it fosters reconciliating among people of conflicting backgrounds, originating in Korea and Japan. It has since helped to bridge social, political, racial, and religious divides around the world. The ceremony symbolizes unity, bringing together individuals to heal past animosities. These are the 2 photos of another signature project of Global Women's Peace Network. Since we're here together, I think we have 5,000 UN NGOs, and each NGO are doing an amazing job. But I think it's very effective so we can collaborate each other and bring more effective and more, so the GWPN, this project is created for NGOs, government, and many organizations can come up together and working together to solve many issues in their local areas. So I think this event is also, we think, as GWPN. Okay. So let's go into today's main topic, empowering programs for young women. Actually, we actively engage young professionals through various programs and initiatives aimed at empowering them so that they can be the peace builders in their communities. And this time I met so many different the leaders from women's NGO, and many of them are having difficulty recruiting young generations. So I think alternation of generation is one of our goals, and in order for us to continue doing our amazing job, we need to train and recruit younger generations. Unfortunately, gender equality. Yes, can you do it for me? Sorry. Gender equality is a multifaceted issue, and achieving it requires addressing several obstacles. Some key challenges include all cultural norms and stereotypes, economic disparities, less access to education, legal and policy barriers, political representation, violence and harassment, health disparities, intersectionality, social institutional biases, and so on. So tackling those obstacles requires a comprehensive approach that involves changing cultural attitudes, implementing equitable policies, ensuring access to education and economic resources, and promoting inclusive practices across all sectors of society. So I'll show you this chart to how to empower young women to pioneering change for equality. And this chart shows the several important steps and elements in the process of developing young women. The first stage is giving education and training. We ask professionals to have seminars and forums, and we educate them. And we also have youth volunteer activities. I think my colleague Yu will explain later. And after giving education, the second stage is monitoring and coaching. We give speech training and skill-up training, and we also have mentorship so that our elders can, teach our younger generation. The third stage is work experience. We provide environment for internship, especially at UN offices we have. The next stage is networking. Since we are an international organization, we work with other chapters. So we have been doing many international conferences, and we make them to do networking. And the last stage is the most important stage in continuous learning and self-development. Many times, women, although we give education and train them, sometimes, when they get married, have children, they cannot no longer involve in, our activities. So we teach them how to do self-development, and we give opportunities for them to learn by themselves. And time to time, we ask them to come to our events. Instead, we can taking care of your kids so that you can freely, work as leaders. And we put them as leaders, and we ask them to create a project. And with all stages, we're aiming for them to improve social norms against women. And also, we are hoping them to change in legal system and policies. We have our overseas youth volunteer, but she is going to present, so I won't go into detail, but overseas youth volunteer is a significant project to change and broaden the mindset of young women. So we put these young women, young professionals to sometimes to Africa, South America, Eastern Europe, completely different environment, so that they can have, the first time they get confused, but it is very important for them to experience in person and meet the people who live in a completely different world. So, okay, I'll let you do it. But anyways, I want all of you, I can see some young faces. Please come with us and go. This year, we're going to bring more than 10 young women to Zambia, Africa. We have a food project there. It's going to be an amazing experience for young women. Okay, also education and training. Every year before the start of CSW, we have advocacy training for Women's Federation UN representatives. The advocacy training aims for the participant to equip for peace building and development through education, advocacy skills and action. Also, we provide lectures, discussions, debates guided by the specialists, Merle Balan here. And after the 2 days training, the participants receive certificates, which gives them a confidence to do advocacy in UN events. So it's been very successful training for not only for young adults, but also for someone like me, or even elders. Did I say elders? Anyway, with respect. Thank you. And I would like to also introduce about our internship. We provide short-term and long-term internship at Women's Federation UN offices in New York and Geneva. Interns can acquire research, advocacy, and global networking. We provide opportunity for those items to showcase the skills and knowledge they have learned. So the best part of the internship is that they can learn very specific and professional skills for advocacy in UN. So after the advocacy training, the young advocates participate in various UN events, write reports, and work for the advancement of the status of women. This time we learned how to write VNR reports to UN. And it was very helpful even for me. So I think so far our advocacy training has been very successful to skill. To give provides, So now how to achieve a goal, effective approaches. Lastly, I will show you the effective approaches to achieve our goal. Providing educational opportunity, so monitoring and role models and skill development. And actually, economic support is very important for young women, providing scholarship, grants, and low-interest loans to reduce economic barriers for young women pursuing their dreams. Also, networking opportunities. We offer the platforms where young women can connect with peers and mentors to share information and experiences. And lastly, raising gender awareness, promoting educational activities that raise awareness of gender equality and eliminate stereotypes and biases related to gender. So combining all these methods creates an environment where young women can confidently maximize their potential. So this is our website. If you are interested in our project, please go to our website and let's work together to better this work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Hori. Dr. Hori mentioned Global Women Peace Economic Network, GWEPN. We're trying to do that locally in Taiwan as well. So I'm leading that committee. So through the young women training program, plus with all the young women that joined us, so I mentioned earlier that this marks our 4th sessions. So we have over 60 young women because in between we actually experienced the COVID, so we were unable to continue our training program. But of the 60 young women that we have trained, we have a close networking system with them. So we would like to continue to foster that relationship with our young women, and with the safe place that we provide. Safe meaning we screen out all the places that they will visit, and we make sure it's eligible and legit organizations that we bring them to visit. So I believe these are young women who ages from 24 to 35. This is the program that we run. They are all professionals in their own fields, and it's also about networking. So if we're able to provide them a networking system that they can come and be trained and continue to get to know new people and to create their own network, I think that will be ideal. So what Dr. Hori was saying, the GWEPN, we are also doing that locally. And another thing is, I think with these young women, I got some ideas from them. I'd like to share just one. With the NGO CSW that we're holding the parallel events, I think we would like to start for Taiwan. I would like to start when we go back, just to initiate all the NGOs in Taiwan. We could have some collaborations amongst us. So I think it's, it starts from our local, and then we kind of reach out globally. I think that would be very tight, and that would be solid. So that's something, that came out yesterday. I would like to share with all of you. I think we're just trying to do something together. But doing something, we would need everyone's collaboration. We would need to work together, but that's easily said than done. So how do we move that step forward? So it's just a lot of ideas being thrown in, and I'd like to just share that idea that was brought up by our representative yesterday, that are two young women that's present today. So thank you for their input. Okay, next I would like to introduce Ms. Yu Nakayama. She's the coordinator of Women Federation for World Peace Japan Youth Program, and she's also the project manager who's responsible to organize study sessions for youth on international cooperation and women's empowerment. Her topic today will be empowering women through global volunteerism. Sorry. Okay, let's please welcome Ms. Yu Nakayama.
Thank you, Winnie. Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here at CSW69 to discuss how education and training empower young women in order to create gender equal society. My name is Yu Nakayama, and I would like to talk about how global volunteerism empower young women, cultivate leadership, and provide opportunities for them for their personal development. As our President Moriko Hori mentioned earlier, WFWP envisioned a peaceful world built on a unique sense of spirit of love and harmony that women embody. We believe that women are naturally talented in empathy, solidarity, compassion, and the ability to love someone deeply. And by utilizing this ability, we strive to nurture leaders who contribute to global peace. To achieve this, WFWP Japan organized various empowerment programs, study sessions, and events for youth members. And we provide opportunities for them to participate in our programs, helping them develop global mindset, expand their knowledge, and gain invaluable experiences. So I have a question for you, women leaders in this room. What opportunities have you had for your personal development? What kind of experiences shaped you into a women leader you are today? Here's an eye-opening statistic. According to the survey by Nippon Foundation last year, many Japanese young people feel that they have fewer opportunities to grow, for their personal development, and compared to other countries. Let's say in United States, United Kingdom, China, Korea, and India. In these countries, over 50% of them think that their countries provide significant support for their personal development. But on the other hand, only 38% of Japanese young people agree with this question. This highlights the critical issues. Japanese young people think that they lack an environment they can actually challenge themselves. However, Japanese government has implemented various policies to support youth development, including career assistance, leadership training, and support for entrepreneurs. But the thing is, many of these programs are limited to high-educated, high-achieving persons. And also there's a lack of hands-on practical experiences. So there's a gap between Japanese government and local Japanese youth members, young people. So as an NGO, how WFWP contribute to these issues? How can we create an environment that empower more young women? One powerful solution is international youth frontier programs. Well, this program provides young women with practical opportunities to grow. So for those who want to contribute to society but don't know how, we offer a platform to take action. Since 2000, WFWP Japan has organized 48 international youth frontier programs across Asia, Africa, Eastern Europe, and South America, with 329 participants so far. Well, there are no academic requirements. Any woman aged 18 to 39 can join this program. And these participants step out of their comfort zone in Japan and engage in practical volunteer activities in developing countries, such as nutrition education in Africa or supporting the refugee children in the Middle East. And through these experiences, they gain practical skills, build confidence, and foster meaningful cross-cultural connections. So I'd like to say these global volunteer experiences nurture young women in 3 key aspects. The first one is developing global citizenship. Well, young people develop a global perspective, deeper understanding of different cultures, and social issues and international cooperation. And this fosters a sense of responsibility as global citizens who actively contribute to a better world. The second is empowering youth leadership. Well, facing a real-world issue such as poverty really help young women to build problem-solving, communication, and teamwork skills. And these are really essential for their future leadership role. And the last one is creating lasting impact. Well, the experience doesn't end with just a trip or something. The participants return home inspired to share their stories and raise awareness and stay engaged in social issues, advocacy, and international cooperation projects. So these are 3 key aspects of development. Another unique aspect of this program is sisterhood ceremony, which connects young Japanese women to local youth members. And this initiative fosters deep emotional connection across borders and races and even religions. And these connections cultivate empathy and intercultural understanding and sense of global responsibility. Now, let me share some inspiring stories of our participants. Motoko, who volunteered in Jordan, initially stereotyped about the Middle East and Islamic cultures. Through her first-hand experiences and deep personal connection, her perception dramatically changed. One of her most powerful moments was sisterhood ceremony, where she bonded deeply with Jordanian women. And she later reflected like this. Through our sisterhood, I felt a heart-to-heart connection that transcended language barriers. Jordan is now where my family lives, and we share the same time on the same planet. There should not be a place on earth where bombs could fall. So even after returning to Japan, her dedication to her new sister still continued. They keep in touch online, sharing their lives, daily lives, and so this connection inspired her to organize a report session about her experience in Jordan and initiated fundraising effort to support the people she met in Jordan. So I'd like to say this experience transformed her into an active global citizen. And the second one is Yukari, who went to Ukraine. Initially questioned about what volunteering really meant and how could she contribute to world peace. But through her experiences, she realized that international cooperation is not about one-sided giving, but mutual exchange. So Japan too has received many support from different nations. And this new perspective inspired her sharing her experiences with Japanese youth members. So she became an active leader in WFWP, organizing international cooperation symposium and initiatives like World Learning Cafe, where young women discuss and take action on global issues. So she transformed from just a participant into a mentor for other future young leaders. The last one is me, myself. When I was 15, I went to the Cambodia. The really tough girl in the center is me, actually. And when my main task was working on a farm with orphan children who had lost their parents to landmines.
Wow.
And one of the most striking moments for me was sharing the lunchbox with them. Just a simple bowl of rice and really, really tiny fish, and that's it. Then I realized the reality of world economic disparity. And these children living in a difficult, challenging environment, still they dream of going to school. Their shiny and beautiful eyes with hopeful education left a lasting impact on me, who was a teenager and having a ordinary school life in Japan without much purpose. So this experience completely changed my perspective on my life. And even 10 years after, since then, I became a person who grateful for every single opportunities I have and take action on international cooperation. Even 10 years after this experience, when I was a manager at a cram school, I always told my students, do some overseas volunteer work at least once, and look at the situation in the world and look at your life in Japan from outside this country. Well, now I am a coordinator for this international youth volunteer program at WFWP. As I was given opportunities at age 15, I am now dedicated to creating opportunities for youth to grow. So I know I'm still in the progress of developing, but I think it is one of the success stories of this program because I strongly believe that this program has a powerful way for women to develop leadership skills and proactive mindset. My conclusion, in order to build a gender equal society, we must create opportunities for young women to empower. So through our international youth volunteer programs, we contribute significantly to Japan's youth development policies by fostering a global perspective, practical leadership experiences, and long-term engagement. And by expanding more and more young women, we can create an environment where women step into leadership roles. So that is why WFWP Japan is committed to raising this program and taking the initiative to expand its impact. Finally, I want to leave you with this thought. When young women step forward as volunteers, they do more than help others. They unlock their own potential and shape the future. So through education and volunteerism, we can create a society where every woman and girl realize her full potential as a leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Yu. It's actually very inspiring. Everything starts from within. I believe if we unlock our own potentials, we'll be able to do more. What she mentioned was also discovering an issue. So the issue was the Japanese women were not confident enough to step out and to do something. And yeah, there's no chance for them to be a leader of any sort. So I think also WFWPI and WFWP Japan found a solution, that is to bring them to do volunteer work. The actual learning by doing, it's very powerful, and by being exposed to the world and to different situations, I think it's that experience that allows us to think differently and to, I would say, feel differently. And that's definitely very powerful. So planting the seed is very important. It might take a long time. That was since 2011, and we're in 2025. So it's like over almost 15 years. But it takes a while for that little seed to start growing. But I believe Ms. Yu is making a big difference now, creating a program, being the coordinator of this volunteer program for more young women. So I'm really excited to see what would come of it. And thank you for your effort, and thank you for leading and willing to give back what you have received. And I think that's very important. We have received, and it's important that we continue to give back and to build that community together. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce Yes. Next, I would like to introduce Ms. Abby Yu-Hsuan Kuo. Abby, she's one of our representatives. She's also a very outstanding woman. I respect her very, very much. You will hear her story in a little bit. She is presently a student pursuing her MBA in National Yangming University in Taiwan. And she's a specialist in our KON WEN Cultural Foundation, and she's also a podcast host. So she's doing a lot of things while she is also a mother of 3.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So a woman trying to juggle many balls and not letting it fall. It's actually very admirable and respectful. So her topic will be empower women in education to build a gender equal society. Let's welcome Abby. I apologize. The cord is not long enough. I would have to invite Abby here.
Hello everyone. I'm Abby from KON WEN Cultural Foundation in Taiwan. Okay. So this is my favorite part because I currently study at the National Yangming University. My professor always threw questions to our students. So this time is my turn to ask you a question. So first question, I want to invite you to guess what age am I right now? 20s or 30s? Yeah. 30s or 30? Okay, So, because I usually get a lot of surprise when I actually told my actual age, but I'll tell you after I finish my slides. Okay. Okay. So today I want to share a topic close to my heart, really close to my heart, and empowering women with education to build a gender equal society. And over these past few days, I have attended many forums, held here, CCUNs, and I learned a lot. So first, I would like to invite all of you, give yourself a round of applause. Whether you are part of NGO or you're a speaker or your audience members, every choice you make each day and really step toward to the causes you are care about. This is why I be standing here. It's really touched me. Okay. So first of all, I want to share a story with you. There were a girl from Taiwan who grew up in a single-parent family. As she eldest daughter, she carries many responsibilities. Her mother also raised in single-parent household, never knew her father. Due to the financial struggle, her mother had to work long hours and didn't can see her daughters. And the virus negative to recare that because she moved from one relative house to another throughout her childhood. Since her mother had only complete elementary school, so her job opportunity was limited, and they lived a difficult life. In the elementary school, there was a song, famous song in Taiwan, played in a music class called "My Family Is So Lovely." 我的家庭真可爱. But every time she heard it, she would sing along while crying, longing for the warmth of home she never truly had. So if you guess it's right, the little girl was me. In many parts of Asia, women who get divorced are often labeled and judged people, assume that the children from the single-parent family must struggle academically, and they won't perform well. Their grades doesn't perform well, and their mother must have done something wrong to end up with divorce. I remember one moment that left a deep scars on me. One day, the mother of my best friend in the elementary school stood right in front of me, and she said, "I don't want you playing with my children because you are from a single parents family. You will be a bad influence on them." At the moment the sentence made me question on myself. I started to doubt myself and the lack confidence, but it also planted a seed in me. I was determined to personally back to till the labor of the single parents family in the future. Within this traditional framework, my mother believed that becoming a teacher or a nurse, having a stable job was the best path for the women. So when I entered the university, I chose to major in infant and child care education. At the time, I feel like lost. I just don't feel like it's really truly what I want. Oh, it's the future career path what I want. So I'm not so sure about this. So one time my professor encouraged me to explore myself more. So I decided to take a gap year to discover what I truly want. This is the first open door for me. I'm so grateful that I made this decision. It all started with the campus cinema, where I learned about the U.S. Department of State au pair care program, and which offers young people aged like 18 to 26. It's the opportunity to then become a living child care provider in the U.S. And this program allows participants to take care of their children, experience American culture and English as a second language courses. And this became my first open door, like I say, to the world. I still remember the exact time. It's August 3rd, 2008. When I arrived in New York, just here, for like 10 days training, and there I had a chance to connect with au pair from 183 countries. It has values and a professional inside of the child care. And this was my first time to traveling by myself and alone. But also it's my first time to stepping out of my comfort zone alone. And during this year, I met so many people experience cultural shock and broaden my horizon to the way I never imagined. This part, I would like to introduce Jeanine Czech. Yeah, she's my inspiring role model. Yeah. So during this program, I gained a lot of global connection because I made some friends there from Brazil, Mexico, and Thailand, and other countries. So, and the second one is I realized I was not alone because there's many of my friends they are also come from the single parents family. And the third one because I'm meeting Jeanine Czech and the Czech family give me really love. They shows me to love doesn't have a border, even though you are totally stranger. Yeah, and her way to educate her child and influence me and let me know, even though you're single parents family, but also you can have ability and capability, work, life, and then take care of your child. So I have a very happy time, and then I went back to Taiwan. I have like 6 years of working experience to the infant and kids shop manager, and after that I become a human resource. I work at the technology company as a talent recruiter. So, but in 2013 I got married, and between 2014 to 2020. I gave birth to 3 children, and throughout this year, I still have work, and I still have my job. I have a different like identity, and then career, all those. Because I believe like this traditional expectation direct the women should stay at home to take care of their children. But however, I firmly believe the financial independence was essential to providing my children with a better life and with the education. And because of this, because it's fundamental value, and my ex-husband and I was constantly in conflict throughout these 7 years. So until COVID-19 happened, several accidents of the domestic violence occurred. My kids got abused from their fathers, and forced me to make a life-changing decision because I had to become a single mother, which is the decision I never wanted to make this decision because I come from a single parent family, and I know it's really difficult for me to raise my child, but I know it's a really decision I need to make for my 3 children. So I know the divorce was extremely difficult decision because it would mean that my children would grow up with a single parents family. And I worry they too would be labeled and judged by the society. And the moment I think about Jeanine, because I asked myself if I were Jeanine and what would I do? And so I made this decision. I got divorced because I had to do the best choice to make my kids happy. This is my kids. This is evidence. I really have three kids. So Since then, whenever I face challenge, I think of Jeanine and my mother because their strong will to survive and the determination to prove themselves inspire me to push through any obstacles. With the mindset, I start to exploring every possible solution. Encouraged by social worker and my friends, they encouraged me to launch my own podcast channel. So and share my story and inspire others. So my podcast that we apply the dream school I ever had. It's really famous in Taiwan, National Yangming Jiao Tong University. So I think my life get upgrade. It make me more confidence. From the podcast to global MBA, because my major is global MBA. The half of my classmates, they are all from all over the world. So I get like a valuable connection, and then starting my, and as a result, in 2024, I pursued the global MBA, and I try to participate a lot of activity, and then become the host of my my classmates event. And okay, so at this stage, I'm a full-time student, mother of 3, and a podcast host. So this is my podcast. It's called Abby's Talk, 艾比微光. So this is a QR code, maybe you can scan, but it's pronounced by Chinese. But if you want to learn Chinese, you can try to listen. So this podcast will share about like young women leadership program like this time I attend, and sharing my voice. How do I get from the single parent's mom? How do I deal with my work, my school, and take care of my kids well at the same time? I share my way to other mothers. And the third one, I interview with another woman entrepreneur, and I want to start my own business. So this podcast just make me feel like fulfillment. So as you can see these pictures, I got invited to other NGO association. They invite me to share my story, and there's another I invite the entrepreneur Sophie, she got a business about the yoga place. I went to invite her. She also single mother too. And this one is she's an entrepreneur, teach how people to figure out to find their own business. And then this one is the creator of the singer. I also invite her. They all have a lot of inspiring stories. So after that, I started teaching another woman how to start their own podcast. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So after these years, throughout the participating in the youth empowerment program organized by WFWP Taiwan, I had more opportunity to connect with all of you. And one of the most inspiring moments for me was I meeting May. She is graduated from the National Taiwan University, and then she started her own business. It's called Data Hub. Yeah, it's really inspired me. So I started to engage some school resource, and then start with the new organization here right now. You call Talent Hub. Talent Hub is the organization in school where we share how do we manage our LinkedIn profile, and then invite like some of really top engineering or PM or sales like really expertise in their job. I invite them to come to school, share their career path to our classmates, which really engage them together to visualize what kind of job they really want to do. So I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude here to the Gongwon Cultural International and the WFWP and all the NGO organization. Because of your support, we have been given the opportunity to explore new possibility and open door to different futures. This is really touching moment. Here are some few quotes that I really love and I would like to share with all of you. Courage means finding out an open door. You are all open door. And there's a famous, also a host, American host called Oprah Winfrey. She say, you can choose where you were born, but you can choose, to be brave. And this is my favorite book. It calls Breaking Night. A memory of the forgiveness. There's a girl that from homeless to Harvard and survived to. This book is really inspired me a lot because her situation is related to me a little bit. But from this book, there's a few quotes I really want to share with you. No matter how you are struggle or you have a hard decision, I want to share with you these quotes. There is always something to be grateful, no matter how hard your life is. Your circumstances do not define you. You define yourself. Every day we are giving countless opportunities to be the person who we want to be. And hope is the one thing that can give us through the darkness of times. And it's not about where are you come from, where you want to go, where are you going. And resilience is not just about surviving, but also thriving despite to the odds. So finally, I want to share the secrets to why I look young. I think because it comes from the constantly challenge yourself and continuously striving for growth, embracing who you are, and empowering yourself through education. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. Simply remarkable.
Abby, how old are you? You forgot to
Oh yeah, that's another important. Yeah.
Between 35 to 38.
Between 35 to 38. So do we get a prize? Let's start guessing. To 35.
32.
Oh, someone said 30. 32.
38.
38 years old. Thank you. Thank you, Abby. How are you all feeling? Warm? I've every time I think of her, I get inspired.
I'm crying.
I'm slightly over. I would say 2 decades. Well, no. I'm 53, so we're kind of like talking about our ages right now. You know, when I started this young women training program, our former president came to me and said, Winnie, I'd like you to start this. I said, I would love to. As I started embarking this journey, I realized I'm actually learning from these young women. They're truly very brave. And when we talk about this generation being weak and all, I don't think so. They're so resilient, they're so brave, they're very courageous. But I would also like to remind, we have a lot of senior mentors that allow us to be where we are. So I feel and I believe I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle trying to learn from my mentors, and I have the responsibility to pass on what I've learned. So I would invite all of you here in this room, all the beautiful ladies and gentlemen. I believe we could do something, and this foundation is truly very important, because if we want to do a lot of, going through the transformation and all the challenges, to tackle all the challenges and to overcome them step by step, we do need to have some core, and that is one of many of our, actually all of our speakers have touched on. We need to find who we are And I think that's the root. And then we can branch out and start connecting with others. So again, I would like to thank Abby. Thank you for sharing your story. Truly very touching and very inspiring. And sky's the limit, space is the limit. You have no limits. Continue. Yeah, thank you for inspiring us. Next, I would like to invite this very special lady, Dr. Jeanine. You've actually changed Abby's life, and you are that very special person in Abby's life. And yeah, thank you for being here, and we appreciate your time. Please allow me to introduce Dr. Jeanine Czech. She's an MD at Mayo Clinic College of Medical and Science. She's a physician at Veteran Health Administration, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. And she's worked in the U.S. Air Force from 1998 to 2018. And her topic today will be Nurturing Potential, Neurodiversity to Build a Thriving Society. Let's welcome Dr. Jeanine.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful journey. That's the first time I've heard Abby's speech. So, boy, that was touching. And Abby was a magnificent helper to me. She really helped my kids grow through difficult times. And especially because I was a single parent, a white mom with Asian kids, it was very important to me that I had caregivers who were Asian. I needed them to see how it was to be a young, growing Asian person and to know that their capabilities were absolutely just as magnificent as anybody else in their culture. So thank you, Abby. We couldn't have done it without you. I'm also, Winnie, you are in the middle. You are in the middle, and let me tell you, I'm not going to make you guess my age. I'm really excited about it. In October, I'm turning 70. Yes, indeed. Thank you. But I'm looking forward to it so much. I feel like it's the fourth quarter, and it's going to be my quarter to do exactly what I want to do, and it's a wonderful thing. So, anyway, let me start. Nurturing potential. I'm going to start talking about gender, and then I'm going to shift over into a topic called neurodiversity, because one thing that is really important to me is the idea that we need to understand our children, girls and boys, for the unique people that they are. And it's very important to recognize them, help them accept themselves, and to nurture them into their best selves. And hopefully that'll make more sense as we go. So, first picture, this is a newborn baby. Early in my career, I took care of pregnant women and I delivered babies. And it was an interesting experience how, as the mother progressed through her pregnancy, she got to know that creature that was growing inside of her. And as her doctor, I got to know sort of peripherally that same thing. And you develop this understanding of their personality and even what they looked like. And you pick their name and you thought you knew that person. But then it was born. And sometimes a different person came out. So what are you to do with that? But the fact is that that baby is a mystery. And often a mom is surprised by gender, a mom and parents, by gender or by personality or by medical needs. You don't know what challenges you're going to face in raising this unique individual. And I think that one of the greatest challenges of parenting is learning to accept, love, support, and support the child we have instead of the child that we wanted or expected. So next slide, please. So this is one of the first expectations that we put on our kids, and that's of gender. We think that girls are supposed to be quiet, passive, obedient, and caring. Boys can be noisy, active, and usually get into trouble. And these are some of the ideas that we in our society have put on our children, but that often don't fit. And the problem is if we get stuck in those expectations, it can have a really negative impact on both boys and girls. Girls can doubt their capabilities. They can lose their ability to speak up and say what they think. So it's more difficult for them to see themselves as leaders. Likewise, boys can learn that aggressive behavior is the way to solve problems, and that getting in trouble is something to be expected. And so sometimes that plays a role in developing some of the toxic ideas that we have about males. It's important to me in this talk that we talk about both girls and boys, and I know that we're focused on the role of women in the world, but we share this world with men. We give birth and we raise men. And so it's important to know the balance of this relationship. Next page. Studies have shown that by 5 years old, boys and girls have an idea of where they belong in the society, what kind of roles they can step into, what sort of goals they can pursue. And the problem with that is that if you develop a self-image as a follower or a helper at an early age, that can be hard to overcome. Sometimes girls will learn that they're not as capable and that they fail to challenge themselves in ways that could make them stronger and more successful. And more than that, it robs our society of potential leaders that can help us develop this family group, this society, into a much better direction. Next page. So girls, you don't have to be quiet. You don't have to be passive. You can be brave. You can take action. You can take risks. Sports and scouting activities are good things that help young girls to learn their strengths, to learn the capability of working with a team, to speaking up, and to leading. It's also important for girls to learn how to handle failure. There's no way for any person to live to be their fully actuated self without taking some risks. And risks mean failure. And we have to know how to step away from failure, brush it off, or as Taylor Swift says, shake it off, and press on with our ideas and know ourselves, know our capabilities. Another thing that we need to learn as women is how to handle criticism. And certainly, a lot that we're talking about in this lecture today is the changing role of women in society, which I think is a very good thing for women. But as you know, there are many people in the world who feel that this is not a good direction to go in. And so if a woman is going to step up and take a leadership role, she is going to get pushback. She has to have the confidence, and she has to have the support system to know that she can carry on. As parents, we should also talk, especially to women, to girls, about the societal messages that they get from the media, from music. Ask them what this says about beauty, about physical beauty. What does this say about romance and sexuality? What does this say about money? These are things that girls and boys really need to address. When my kids were growing up, I never stopped them from listening to any music or looking at anything on TV. But if there was something that I thought was risky, we would talk about it. We would say, what message is this giving you? Is this a good message? Is this something you want to believe? And that worked very well. Next page, boys as well as girls. Boys, we need to help them especially learn to handle emotional challenges. They need to learn that it's okay to be sad or lonely or afraid. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to cry. Crying is a normal human response to intense emotion, and there should be no shame associated with that. Accepting one's emotions can lead to sensitivity to others' feelings, and that's something that is really needed among all people, but I think especially among the men in our culture. It leads to kindness and empathy, and I don't know how many of you are paying attention to the news, but empathy is a hot button right now because some people in leadership feel that empathy is something that should be avoided, which is a really sad situation. Next page. This lack of attention to emotions can lead to toxic behaviors among men. It can lead to the idea that it's appropriate to solve problems with fighting instead of negotiation. We see that not only on a personal level, but on a societal level. It leads to shaming weak people, and it leads to objectifying women. And so these are things that we need to especially pay attention to with our sons. I am a physician at the Veterans Administration now, and I've been there for 14 years, have dealt with a lot of patients with PTSD. And what I frequently see is men who typically were raised in very authoritarian households, where they were not allowed to express their fears or their sadness or cry. And then they go to the military, which also structurally enforces strength and repression of emotions. They have experiences in war that are terrible. They're soul-crushing, that haunt them for the rest of their lives. But unless they get to the point where they can accept their emotions and really treasure their emotions, it's almost impossible to heal from some of those moral and emotional wounds. Next page. It starts with little things. Breaking through unhealthy expectations starts with little things. A child who wants to play with cars instead of dolls, or a child who wants to play with dolls instead of cars. A child who wants to wear clothes that don't match what the other kids are dressing in. Make sure that as a parent, you help your child feel seen and understood for their unique qualities. Next page. So I'm gonna lapse here away from the topic that we're talking about into a topic that I really feel interested in and close to my heart, and that's of neurodiversity. And this is a topic which means that different people think differently. Different people have brains that function differently. One way to look at this is that we all have a brain that's sort of our CPU, our central processing unit. But we all have different operating systems. Sometimes it's difficult, just as it's difficult for an Android to communicate with an Apple. Sometimes it's difficult for a neurotypical parent to deal with a kiddo who has ADHD or dyslexia. And so one of the things that we as a society need to do is to learn that people can be different, and that's a good thing. And these all fall under the umbrella of normal. Next subject, next page. This is sort of a schematic of neurodiversity, and it shows several different ways that brains can function that don't necessarily fit with what we expect to be normal. It doesn't necessarily fit with what we expect kids to be able to do in school. And so it's something that we need to understand more. The most common ones that I'd like to look at a little bit more deeply, not too much deeply, but are ADHD, dyslexia, and autism, because parents of school-aged children really wrestle with these issues sometimes. Next page. This is a book by Temple Grandin. Now, she's a woman who is pretty famous as an advocate for autistic people. She was a young woman who was non-speaking until she was 3.5. She is autistic, and she credits her success to a mom who was relentless in creativity and encouragement, and encouraged her to make the most of her gifts, and had become incredibly successful as an animal behavior scientist at the University of Colorado. She revolutionized livestock handling, and the reason that into making it a much more safe and gentle experience, and she gave credit to this, to the fact that she was able to conceptualize things, to think like the animals. And so she could perceive where they would be afraid, where they would panic, and she was able to shape the atmosphere, the environment, to limit those risks. She really writes a lot about autism, and what I'd like to do is look at some of the positive and negatives of each of these issues. Negative of autism definitely is difficulty with social interactions. A lot of autistic people are extremely introverted and have a hard time oh my gosh, only 30 seconds. Have a hard time with social parties and things like that. But they have incredible attention to detail, deep concentration, and thinking in pictures, as I discussed. Next one. This is a schematic of ADHD, and if any of you know ADHD people, you know how accurate this is. People who have attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder tend to have problems with attention, and tend to have impulsiveness that can get them into trouble. But they also have incredible ability to multitask, wonderful creativity, and are good at fast-paced careers, such as being a pilot, or like my son, a paramedic. And we think that one of the causes of this is actually a shortage of one of the brain chemicals. The third one is dyslexia. Next one. This is a problem with reading, and which often makes kids self-identify as the slow one in school, which is a shame. What it is a brain difficulty with processing visual symbols into meaning. And it makes reading difficult, and therefore often poor grades. Punishing kids for not getting their homework done can cause motivational and self-image problems with long-term consequences. They also have very strong visual spatial abilities, so are good at engineering and design oriented careers. Next slide. So this is really who we are. We're a very diverse group of humans, diverse in age, in race, in culture, in experience, but also in the way that our brains function. Now, the thing is that teamwork can be more difficult with a diverse team, because communication can be difficult at first. But ultimately, a diverse team will come up with better solutions than a team that is not diverse. They can come up with more creative options, and they can not fall into the trap of thinking they know how something is going to work out when in experience it might not. So that's the end of what I have to say. I did attach a list, next page, of some resources for each one of these topics, if you'd like to look into that more. And then finally, the next one. This is a picture of myself and four of our nannies from Taiwan, from Thailand, and from Brazil. Mm-hmm. And my kids are in there too. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble. I've been asked to introduce my wonderful children. So Minnie and Mickey, Kara and Mickey, please stand up. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Dr. Jeanine. Learn respecting the other person might be different from you. And being a parent of 5, I have to constantly remind myself that all my kids are different, and I'm glad they're very different to each other, and it's just a constant communication. My boy's the only son, so 2 sisters and 2 younger sisters. So he has to juggle a lot through like the woman world, you know. But it's good for him. It's good early training for him, I believe. Where we talk about a peaceful world, I believe we need to work together, and this is what Jeanine reminds us of, just respecting that person might be different because there's some special characteristics or special needs that needs to be attended to. So this concludes our panel speakers session. And before we go into our Q&A session, could you please kindly give us some feedback? So this is our QR code. We would be greatly we are very grateful if you could please scan it and give us a feedback of the programs that we're doing or the presentations that that's presented today. Thank you for your feedback. Okay, so now we will go into our Q&A session. I would like to remember the postcards. Yes. I believe, yes, please. Sorry about the cord, so it's very short. So if you could kindly come here and to the stage. Yes, please. Your name and your question.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for a great presentation and very inspiring. My name is Dr. Shambi. I'm a student at UMass Boston University. I have 2 issues, 2 concerns. One is I'm just concerned about young women with disabilities. Like, does your program accommodate that? In school, I have quite a number of young ladies that really have disability and have very difficult to access. Even internship, they write so many applications, it's really, really difficult for them to really be accommodated in the program. And the second issue is about the boy child. I really appreciate Dr. Jean for bringing up that, because really it's like we empower the ladies, and the boy child is suffering, and they will definitely pull us down. We cannot make progress without them. So I really appreciate that inclusiveness of that. And originally I'm from Kenya, and we have that issue actually coming up in Kenya, that the boy child is neglected and is really bringing a big impact in the community, just pulling down the development rate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Maybe Dr. Jeanine would like to. The second was regarding the boy child.
Elaborate. I agree wholeheartedly, and I really worry about what our society is going towards. I look at, when I was in medical school, I went to a class. It was a fairly small class. It was 40 people. 7 of us were women. Now, more than half of the students in medical school are women, and more than half of the, as I understand, the students who are graduating with advanced degrees are women. And I think that it's because the academic field really supports some qualities that have been encouraged in women: reading, patience, being quiet, completing the tests, that make it easier in the academic environment, but maybe not necessarily in the real world. And so I think as a society we need to work on that and find more ways of supporting men in being successful. As far as disabilities, I agree with you, and I think that my interest in neurodiversity is because I see so many kids labeled as disabled or sick or broken, and they aren't. We just need to find a different way to help them express their capabilities, because often their capabilities are greater than the rest of the population.
And for the first question, maybe later we can exchange information. I'll give you some information if that will be helpful regarding the disabilities of some of children and how to help them. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. My name is Professor Emeritus Uche Azikiwe from Nigeria. I am very impressed on what the organization WF something I. I saw the pictures of those other countries that you are coordinating with, you are working with, but I see Nigeria missing. Nigeria is not there, and Nigeria would like to be part of WP.
Chapter in Nigeria.
You have. First time I'm hearing about this. Anyway, you know Nigeria is a large country. I don't know whether you people down east. I am in the east, the University of Nigeria and Soka. That's where I'm based. I don't know if there could be chapters. And we have a chapter in the east so that my NGO and other NGOs will work together. Because there are different cultures and different problems. Since we have different problems, maybe from my own area, another problem will be their own values. That in my own area, it will be a problem. Can we work together?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll love to.
We'll talk about that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Yes. Yes. Would you like to? This gentleman there, do you have a question?
Her question.
Oh, her question. Okay. And would you like to raise your question first?
Good morning. Blessings to all. My name is Dr. Elaine Duval. I'm a representative of the Women's Federation for World Peace International, the UN. Okay, congratulations to all the presenters. You have really empowered us this morning. But I want to talk about our role, women, in empowering the men. You see, we've been focusing on, over the past couple decades, on women's empowerment. And we have been empowered, and we are at that level of operating in our element, so to speak. But the men come from us. We are the producers of the men. We are the nurturers of the men. And so we need to nurture our men in giving birth to them and in making them become who they are really supposed to be. And so we follow the pattern of God. He created men first. And then we came, yes. And so we are co-creators with God of the men. And so when we become empowered and we do not make the men operate in the true level of their dominion, because men are supposed to operate in that level of dominion. We have problems with domestic violence. We have all kinds of problems because the balance is not there. Okay, so I am challenging all of us women to really focus on letting the men be the leaders, those that have dominion, the head, and that does not stop us from being who we are. So I think a lot of the problems that we're having with the men, you know, here we have all these magnificent women. I know of so many women who don't have a man in their lives. and those, some of them who do, their problems. So I think the responsibility is with us to create the men that we want in society. We have to give them the space to be who they are, and so that we don't have issues of domestic violence and all those other problems. Okay, so that's just my opinion, that we are responsible. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We have recorded this whole session, so I apologize because we have run out of time. We want to be able to move on for the next session to come in and prepare. We would like a photo with all of you. So as we move the chair in the front line here, let me